It is 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and it's time for the Battle of the Bay. The Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers this afternoon here at 3Com Park. And anytime you're in this particular venue, you want to know what the weather is going to be. Well, in a couple of words, it's going to be cool, cold, and it's going to be windy, brisk. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm Charlie Jones, Jim Plunkett, and Sean Jones. And the return of Jerry Rice, that's the big news.
You bet it is, Charlie. The return of Jerry Rice to 3Com Park after 16 glorious years with the San Francisco 49ers. He's now in silver and black. And along with Jerry Rice comes Charlie Garner, a 1,000-yard rusher from the San Francisco 49ers a year ago. They should provide a great 1-2 punch for the Oakland Raiders.
And Sean, the Battle of the Bay involves defense also.
Absolutely, and the Battle of the Bay is actually a microcosm of the battle that's going on at the outside linebacker position. Eric Barton last year was your starter. Got the groin, was injured. Willie Thomas came in, had a phenomenal year. Barton has come back to training camp this year doing everything to get that job back, wants to make the coaching decision an easy one.
We are coming up on the time of coaching decisions, so stay with us. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. What do you look forward to?
Well, I look forward to kind of a high-scoring game, although, defenses are ahead this time, Charlie. For the most part, these are two very potent offenses with, very good running games, both of them, and extremely good passing games. So I look forward to some scoring early on in this ball game, unlike a lot of other preseason football games.
And Plunkett hit on it. The defense is going to be ahead a little bit, especially the Raiders defense, being that this is their third preseason game. What you want to do really is get into this game, make sure you don't have any injuries, make sure you're executing and working on the things. Everyone's going to come in with something they have to work on. Try to get that done and get out of this game healthy.
And from a game standpoint, from a team standpoint, and from a viewer standpoint, pay attention to the first quarter. And then after that, pay attention to the individuals and see how they are doing and who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. So you have a team first quarter, and then the 3 quarters afterwards, we fight all the individual battles that we'll be talking about.
That's right, Charlie.
Yeah, I think you explained that extremely well, Charlie.
Thank you. Damn it, Mark.
All those years of experience, Charlie.
Yeah. What, 55 you said?
55.
55 years
55
on the air.
years as a broadcaster.
That's amazing.
Yes, I was 3 when I started. No, I was 15, as a matter of fact. All right, 49ers won the toss. Keith Stokes, number 9, David Allen, number 11, are the deep back on the return to set it up. And the wind is whipping around, so you've got to hold the football. And Johnny Harris draws that assignment. Janikowski will kick it away. Into the wind. Short, taken by an upback at the 16-yard line. And a return across to about the 25 or the 26. Bobby Brooks makes the stop. Let's look at that offense of the 49ers as Jeff Garcia comes out. He can run and he can throw. 4,278 yards throwing, 414 yards rushing. This is that offensive line. It is a very good offensive line. They're back together again. Backs and receivers. Garrison Hurst is the man that they want to work today. He's been out for 2 years with that bad ankle and all kinds of problems. They want to see how much he can take, and they want to find out today. Pass complete far side to Jimmy Ferris. Eric Allen make the tackle. Let's look at the defense of the Oakland Raiders. Upshaw, Jackson, Coleman, and Bryant. That's the defensive line. And there are the linebackers. And there's the battle at the outside spot. And then in the secondary, Woodson, Allen, Pope, and Dorsett.
You saw the first play from scrimmage. What makes Garcia such an exciting player is escapability and able to make things happen on the move.
First down, 47-yard line. Garrison Hurst gets the call. Grady Jackson is there to stop him.
They want to take a long look at Garrison Hurst. As you mentioned, he's out for 2 years, that bad ankle. A lot of problems. Couldn't come back a year ago, although he tried. It bothered him even more. So they're going to play him more and more. Although he played in 19 plays last week, carried the ball only 5 times. He was used mostly as a decoy, as a wide receiver. So they're going to take a long, hard look at him, see how he holds up.
Second down and 11. 3 wide receivers on the side. The give to the second back through. And that's Garrison Hurst. and Garrison Hurst's injury. After setting a franchise single-season rushing record, he suffered a career-threatening ankle injury. A couple of years ago, postseason matchup against Atlanta. Injured reserve the next 2 years. Third down and 4. Pump fake, scramble. Does not escape. Pulled down by Reagan Upshaw. Nice defensive play. Shaw held his ground and then made the play.
Yeah, we said that early in the first play from scrimmage when Garcia started running around. Didn't hold contain very well. Now you're going to see here with Reagan Upshaw coming up. Garcia tries to move around the pocket, which he does well, but Upshaw does a much better job this time of holding the point of attack and making good play on Garcia. Garcia's a very dangerous player. When you're playing against a guy like that, you have to hold your ground.
Stanley kicking to Eric Metcalf. Takes it at the 18. Slips the first tackle, but is nailed by the second. Jonas Lewis got it. So with 12:18 left to go in the first quarter, we have no score. And the Oakland Raiders will be moving on offense for the first time in the ballgame.
You know, these two quarterbacks almost mirror each other. Jeff Garcia, Rich Gannon, both able to run, both can hurt you on the ground with their legs, yet can find an open receiver down the field and come up with big plays even when they're on the move.
Gannon to Charlie Garner, the former 49er that Jim Plunkett talked about. Opens with a gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards. There is Rich Gannon. 60% completion last season, 3,430 yards. Only 11 interceptions. There is that offensive line together again. Backs and receivers, Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, 2 future Hall of Famers. No question about it. Second down and 4. 5 wide receivers, no running backs. 3-step drop over the middle. Flag comes flying. Tim Brown, the intended receiver. Jamie Winborn, the rookie from Vanderbilt, will be called on the hit.
Broken up by Winborn, penalty marker in the secondary.
That's a tough formation.
Pass interference, defense, automatic first down.
And you know, Charlie, how would you like to go up against Tim Brown as a rookie and trying to cover a man-on-man with 5 wide receivers out there, no backs in the backfield, spread out all over the field? It's tough, and you know, they're going to get their lessons under fire without question today.
Well, a little change here as far as the shift is concerned. It shows a completely different look. Charlie Garner gets the call. Now let's hit the Niners defense. There's that front 4, the defensive line. Dana Stubblefield back after 3 years with the Redskins. And their linebackers, Jamie Winborn was the one on the call. And a look at the defensive backs. Second down, 3. 4 wide receivers and an offset running back. Over the middle, and this one is incomplete. No flag. Jerry Porter, the intended receiver. Pearson Prelo with the coverage. Nice play.
Yes, it was.
Jerry Porter has come under fire a little bit from the coach. You know, they expect a lot from this young man, last year's top pick, and he's got to come up and show that he's playing up to the ability that coach believes that he can play.
4 wide. 4-man rush. Again over the middle, and on the run is Jerry Rice. Listen to the crowd.
Oh yeah, they're very excited about Jerry, no matter what color uniform he's wearing.
Anthony Parker and Rashad Holman finally stopped him.
Well, Anthony Parker gets a hit on Jerry Rice after a very nice game. You see there on the play, the slant play that Jerry Rice has become so famous for. But all the guys this week, that's what they were talking about. Well, listen, we've played against this guy for so many years, but he's always had a red jersey on. We could never hit him. So we look forward to hitting him today.
Charlie Garner, former 49er. So Rice and Garner and Rice. John Keith with the tackle. And also, the Raiders are showing all kinds of offensive sets for preseason.
And then, but
it's a rivalry.
Yeah, but that's their MO. You know, that's what they do. They want to get ready for the season, so they're going to have to show these early. And you're going up against a very young 49er defense that are going to have a lot of problems matching up correctly out there with all these formations.
First down. Garner again. Nice hold. Charlie Garner. Julian Peterson with the tackle. Opening drive of the game for the Raiders. 49ers opening drive was in about the 45 to 50 yards.
But I love Charlie Garner because this is a guy that's taken a very workmanlike approach to this week. You see him here. You look at the company that he's in. Only Marshall Faulk, Edgerrin James, and Eddie George have more yards from scrimmage than this guy over the last 2 seasons. He's taken a very workmanlike approach to this game, saying, hey, you know, it's just business. But you know he's got to have a chip on his shoulder because they let him go.
Play action fake to Garner, comes back in a double coverage, picked up at the 1-yard line. 49ers have the turnover and the first interception. First interception that the Raiders have given up, and it's Zach Bronson. Bronson just sitting and waiting, and he makes the play. Oh, that was a beautiful defensive play.
Yes, it was. Bronson read quarterback's eyes, Gannon's eyes, and went to the ball. He was free to roam. He didn't have any responsibilities except to follow the quarterback's eyes, and he did a very good job in doing that. And one of the things that Rich Gannon does not do is turn the ball over very often, especially in the red zone. So, you know, an early mistake by Rich Gannon.
We have a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment.
Just doesn't do a good enough job of looking him off. When you have a guy playing right there in the post, you have to do a much better job of looking him off. Bronson does a good job of making a play in the ball, but you're going to see here, Gannon does even a better job of staying alive. Most of the time, you see quarterbacks that just lay down. He does a good job of knocking the guy out of bounds.
You don't just lay down.
Plunk, I played with you, Plunk.
First down. 47-yard line of the Raiders. Pressure, pass, juggle, caught. Nice play. Beekert was there for defense, and the rookie from Yale, Eric Johnson, and they expect big things from him on the receiving end.
Yeah, they like the kid a lot. They, you know, coming out of Yale, you always go with the regular anecdotes about him being a smart player and so on and so forth. But this guy has really stepped up to big-time competition, coming from small school. Normally, these guys, when the headlights come on, a lot of them freeze like deers in front of the headlight. But this guy's really stepped up to the big-time competition.
Second down and a yard following that gain of 9. Double fake, goes deep. And it is caught for the touchdown. Terrell Owens. Eric Allen had great coverage on him.
Yes, he did.
And Terrell Owens just out-fought him for the ball. I'm not sure how you can have better coverage.
No, I'm not either. I thought he was going to knock it down. I saw no way that Terrell Owens was going to come up with the ball.
It was just a case of a good pass, a good catch, and good coverage. Going to see here, here's a play right now. Straight drop back play action. You're going to see Eric Allen coming down the sideline, has great courage. In fact, he's sizing up, trying to make a play on the ball, and just misplays it with his hand, trying to get that ball out. Terrell Owens has great concentration and hauls the ball in.
And the extra point, Jose Cortez, is good. And the 49ers have the early lead, 7-0. The ball game, and here's the touchdown pass of 38 yards.
And Eric Allen has great position on him. He sees it all the way. He just gets up there, just doesn't quite get his hand on the ball, therefore results in a touchdown. But you've got to give credit to the passer Garcia and the reception by Owens.
When you look at it on the slow-mo, it almost as if he reaches up and knocks the ball down into his hands, and he caught it before he was able to slap it to the ground.
Yeah, he certainly wasn't fooled by the play. It just, you know, just turned out not very good for Eric Allen.
He's describing it right now. He's like, man, I should have had that one. But Plunk, what does it say about Garcia's confidence in his arm to put that ball there with the guy draped all over him?
Well, I think he's got a tremendous confidence not only in his arm, but also in his receiver, right. Terrell Owens. You know, Terrell Owens is a big-time receiver. He's a big kid. He can outleap most defenders in the National Football League. And Eric Allen, being on the shorter side, has trouble matching up with Owens.
Cortez to kick on. David Dunn is the return man out to the 25-30. Stunned for a moment and then falls forward for maybe another yard, possibly 2 more. But a good return. So the Raiders, a little pushing and shoving at the bottom of the deck.
You would expect nothing less from a Raider San Francisco game.
That's right. But we got to the middle of the first quarter before it happened, which may be a record. All right, we have a timeout on the field. That means we'll step aside with the 49ers out in front by a score of 7-0.
Earlier, and I asked him about his emotions and how he feel about this game. He said one of the things he wanted to do is be productive. Well, he caught a crossing pattern in that first drive, and I'm pretty sure he's satisfied with his play so far.
And that drive was productive, but turned around by the interception right at the 1-yard line that then led to the 49ers score. Tyrone Wheatley, now the running back, and he gets the first call. Garner, thus far in the ball game, was the running back in the opening series, 4 carries and 28 yards.
You know, and there's certainly no let-up between Charles Garner and Tyrone Wheatley. You know, they both have a lot to give to this Raider offense. Both fine runners, both rushed for over 1,000 yards a year ago.
Second down. And Wheatley gets the call again. We have a timeout with a flag.
Yeah, there's a lot of chippy stuff going on out there. A little extra activity going on underneath the pile. And Wheatley took exception to it, and they always catch the second guy. So you got to do that stuff, Charlie, underneath the scrum where no one can see you. You know,
you're the instigator.
Yeah, you just get it in there a little bit.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Oakland, number 47, 15-yard penalty, second down.
All right, while the penalty is being marked off here at 3Com, we'd like to welcome those of you in Los Angeles that have been watching the PGA Championship, and congratulations to David Toms, who is the PGA champion, and keep your fingers crossed for Phil Mickelson.
Poor Phil Mickelson.
He's such a nice man, too.
He's got the monkey's paw.
Oh, man, I wanted him to win. Tyrone Wheatley on the receiving end gets back to almost where this series started a moment ago. Julian Peterson with the tackle. Let's go back to that penalty a moment ago.
Yeah, you're going to see this extra stuff that's going on the field, and Wheatley just takes exception to it. And what this guy's got to understand is Wheatley's a big guy. You know, he's not your run-of-the-mill change of pace back. He's a big guy, and they don't take too much stuff down there.
3rd down and 10. 49ers are helping the officials, calling for
False start.
a false start.
65, 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
You know, these are the kind of things, penalties, the interception, which led to a 49er touchdown that John Gruden cannot tolerate, and he won't tolerate it, believe me.
You know, they come in here every week trying to work on certain things. That what we've seen so far is they're trying to get this running game established. Wisniewski's back for the first time, and they're trying to get some continuity going on here. And when you keep having these penalties, it's hard to get your game plan in.
Drops it back underneath the coverage to Randy Jordan. And he'll come up about 7 yards shy of the first down, so the Raiders will have to kick it away. Pearson Prelo makes the tackle.
And that's something they're going to give you, Charlie. They're going to let you catch that ball underneath, come up, make the tackle, keep you shy of the first down.
David Allen is the deep back, the return man, and he sets up shop at about the 20-yard line. Shane Leckler will kick it away. Ooh, good kick. And goes out of bounds. An excellent kick that'll go out just inside the 7-yard line. So the 49ers will have their backs to the wall when they take over as we come back in just a moment. By a score of 7-0 on Jeff Garcia's touchdown pass to Terrell Owens.
Going back to Leckler's punt, he came under fire so far this preseason that he hasn't been the punter that he used to be. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The guy has an all-pro year, his rookie year, and people already criticize this guy is going to be a great, great pro.
Garrison Hurst. Charles Woodson with the tackle.
Woodson does a good job here holding his ground and playing off. They force a lot with their corners, and Woodson does exactly where he's supposed to be. They'll call that cloud force, where the corner has to be there to have run support. Raiders do a very good job with their corners and run support.
2nd down and 6 following a gain of 4. Jeff Garcia. You see a flag down on the play. Garrison Hurst with the handoff. Eric Martin with the tackle. Garcia really handles the ball well, Jim. You have to, almost on every play, you have to wait that split second to see, did he really hand it off, and is he going to throw, or did he just fake it and he's going to throw?
Absolutely. No, he carries out the play fake even when he hands off, so that when he does.
Number 62. Athleticism to the goal. Repeat 2nd down.
So when he actually does run play action, you know, half the time he fools the defense and brings up those linebackers to bite on a play fake. And you got to give you know, Jeff Garcia a lot of credit coming in after Joe Montana, after Steve Young. You know, then to break the all-time passing record for the San Francisco 49ers, his 2nd year as a starter, is, I think, truly that boy deserves a lot of credit.
That last penalty on Jeremy Newberry, the offensive center, for holding. Back to the 5-yard line. 3-step drop. Drop in the end zone. They're going to mark it in the field of play.
And that's the problem that you run into when you run empty backfield, because you're not fooling anybody. If you're sitting there playing the run with an empty backfield, you're a fool. So what you're going to see here, they're going to blitz the empty backfield. They're told as soon as they go empty, you're going to see motion to empty. There's no one in the backfield. Here comes the blitz, and whack! You know, you can't leave your quarterback open that often. If you're running that empty backfield, you better max protect, or you're going to have to open up a brand new pack of quarterbacks.
And Marquez Pope couldn't be happier. Former 49er gets a good shot on Jeff Garcia.
You always want to send messages when you play. I don't care what anyone tells you. When you're playing against a team that didn't re-sign you, or somehow you had to leave, you want to make a statement when you come back.
Absolutely right.
Following the officials' conference,
I think Coach Gruden's challenging that call because he thinks, I think it was a safety, actually.
the reason that they made the call is that when he was hit, his furthest motion in the field of play, the ball was in the field, but then he was driven back and down, and they're going to give him where he was hit, his furthest motion.
Ball when contact was first made and he was driven into the end zone. Therefore, the ball is placed at the half-yard line. Oakland is charged with their first timeout.
I didn't get the full audio because we're not hearing it up here, but basically they're going to go with it.
Yeah, it was upheld.
It's upheld, and so it cost them timeout. Right.
We're talking about the refs earlier, and this could be a real big problem for the league. And you remember a few years back when it was a work stoppage and they brought in excess players to play games. I'm telling you, you get a comfort level with the refs that are in this league, and I would hate to see this game with, substitute refs trying to get caught up with the speed of this game. People don't understand the speed of the game on the field.
Yeah, people complain now, even players. Everybody complains. The ref is a ref, and that's the way it is. But, they do a darn good job considering all the things that are happening, once that ball.
A little hole on the right side. Just to give you just a little bit of room to work with. There's Fred Beasley, the ball carrier, with Charles Woodson on the tackle. So now Chad Stanley will kick it away. And he's not going to have the full 15 yards that he likes to have, or that all kickers like to have. And Eric Metcalf sets up the return shy of the 50-yard line. So even though the play defensively of the Raiders did not give them the safety, it will give them excellent field position here. Not a good kick at all. Takes a Raider bounce. And it'll be down around the 30 or the 31-yard line. So the Oakland Raiders are only 31 yards away from the end zone when we come back. The end of the period.
Absolutely.
Tyrone Wheatley. He'll pick up 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down. Tailback. Gannon to throw. Pressure. Throws. Tip. Almost intercepted. Ever so close to a second mistake. G.K. O'Keefer almost picked it off. Ray Carter putting the pressure on Gannon. Third down. Drops it over the middle. It'll be short of the first down by a couple of yards. Roland Williams, the tight end, pulls it in, and Frelo makes the tackle.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went for the first down.
Gannon rolls, throws, far side passes complete for the first down as the brisk wind picks up immediately. Tim Brown pulling it in.
You know, in these kind of weather conditions, you know, even throwing a short pass like that is kind of iffy sometimes because the way the wind is blowing, the way the ball wobbles around. But a good pass by Rich Gannon, and even on that play, he could have turned the corner and run for a first down. It was a good play, good call.
You've played in this park. The wind swirls here, doesn't it?
It does. It goes every which way. You have trouble finding out sometimes exactly which direction it's going in.
First down. Wheatley. You were right. You said earlier on that the Raiders were emphasizing their rush. All the time in the world. Then underneath the coverage, pass is complete to Roland Williams, the tight end. Peterson takes him out of bounds. Now let's take a look at the Raider highlights in the first quarter. Gannon over the middle, pass is complete to Tim Brown at the 10-yard line.
And this is why it's so tough to cover Tim Brown. He goes in motion, comes inside, stops, goes back outside. There's no way you can cover him. It's just a great.
Pick up another first down as he goes into the end zone. And they try it offensively on the right side with Tyrone Wheatley. Now 3 more yards to the 7-yard line where it'll be second down and goal to go. Tim Brown coming across in motion. Into the end zone for the touchdown. Mondrell Fulcher, the tight end, with his second touchdown of the preseason. And he got it over Zach Bronson.
And Mondrell Fulcher is one of the guys who's impressed the coaches. All training camp, he's gotten better, second year in the league.
And the extra point attempt is up and it is good. And so Rich Gannon and Mondrell Fulcher have just tied the ball game at 7 in a crowd for the touchdown. For the 49ers has only thrown 3 times. 3 of 3 for 60 yards. has the touchdown. And here's McCullough on the kickoff return to the 20, the 25, 30, has the opening, has to beat one man. Can he do it? Cuts back. No, they get it. The arms of Johnny Harris. Otherwise, you're looking at 6 points. Little pump fake. Here's the screen. Garrison Hurst. First to the 25-yard line where Beekert makes the tackle.
Form he had a couple years back.
First to the left side and then nailed out of bounds. That was close on the head of hitting him out of bounds too. I'm surprised that we didn't. First down 49ers. First to the right side. Nothing there. Elijah Alexander was the tackle. You know, we're just about 3 minutes into the second quarter, and we're still looking at a lot of starters on both sides.
Yes, we are.
This has become a football game.
You can say all you want. This is, I think, important for both teams and coaches. They want to do well when they play each other. There's no doubt about it. They're going to go a little extra longer if they're starting.
And there's a gauge. You know, the Raiders were a few plays away from being in the Super Bowl last year. San Francisco wants to gauge themselves against one of the best teams in the league.
Garrison Hurst with 4 wide receivers. Cuts in, cuts back, cuts again. Finds a nice little hole, but he makes most of it. Anthony Dorsett stops him.
And he made something out of nothing there. His ability to cut back, stop, change direction, and eke out a few yards. There he goes.
And it's his left ankle that he had all the problem with.
He's going outside. That gets stopped. He just wiggles his way through, finds an opening, and scoots ahead. A good pickup.
But playing against San Francisco's offensive line is actually a very good test for the Raiders defense, because they really have their way. The first unit has had their way so far in the preseason with the teams that they've played against. Very good test with this offensive line, mature offensive line San Francisco has.
Garcia throws, and it's incomplete.
And he threw that away, Charlie. There's no doubt about that. He had some pressure. Terrell Owens was covered, just threw it away.
I don't know what it is about, these pro receivers. No matter how much coverage they have, they're always wide open. They always want the rock, and they're always going to call for it. Work the refs, they'll work the quarterback, they'll work the coordinator. They want the ball every single time.
Number 6, Jose Cortez is kicking. They got rid of Richie, who's done very well for him the last 2 years.
From 26 yards away, the field goal attempt. And it slides through. Not a lot of room remaining, but he does make it. And the 49ers regain the lead, 10-7. John Gruden, and this was his comment a moment ago.
Nice set.
Started over here, then swing back. As soon as I let it go, I knew it was good.
Made a couple nice throws, moving the ball around well. Nicely done.
But
I could use a little more uplift.
I know, even though he was complimenting Rich Gannon, he still had that little scowl on his face,
Good job, Rich. There's a game going on now. I've got to go on the next guy.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm busy right now.
All business.
I can't talk with you right now. We have a kickoff return. David Dunn is the deep back on the return, has it on the run at the 7 to the 15 to the 20 as blockers in front. Nice return outside the 32, about the 32-yard line. McDonough of the 49ers makes the tackle. We have a timeout on the field. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the Battle of the Bay. Right now the 49ers lead by 3. Bobby Hoying is now the quarterback, and Rich Gannon now has retired for the afternoon on the sideline, and he has had a very good outing. 8 of 11, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. On the 32-yard line. Three-step drop, far side, pass is complete. Jerry Porter. Should be enough for the first down. Anthony Parker with the tackle. Offensively, Barry Sims, Frank Middleton, Barrett Robbins, Mo Collins, and Lincoln Kennedy is the offensive line, and that's almost your starting offensive line.
Yeah, very solid offensive line going right now. And Coach Gruden commented on Bobby Hoyne about him making better and quicker decisions out there on the football field.
Marcus Knight is the wide receiver to the near side. We've got flags and whistles. Randy Jordan and Eric Metcalf sit now in the backfield.
Before the ball was snapped, ball start, offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
Frank Middleton.
Still first down.
You know, part of that jumping off sides by Sims could be because of the change in signal caller, Hoyne, as opposed to Rich Gannon out there.
That really does make a difference in the timing, doesn't it?
It does. You know, we all have our different cadence, different sound effects when we go out there on the football field and start calling signals, and you know, they'll adjust. They'll get used to it.
Zach Crockett in motion. We got flags and whistles again.
False start, Oakland, number 7. 5-yard penalty.
Number 7 is Marcus Knight.
And that should never happen with a receiver, because he should be watching the football and not listening to the cadence, because he's so far from the center, spread out there. Yeah, absolutely, Charlie. The penalties are still a problem with the Raiders during this preseason.
Got a little bit better with the second game, 11 for 70 yards in the first game. Great catch downfield by Jerry Porter. This is what they've been looking for from him. This is what they want to see.
That's the kind of ability that Porter has. Great concentration on the ball. He's a guy that's not a body catcher. He'll catch the ball with his hands, but you'll see him here. Runs a good route. You can't see it, but he comes into the screen here. Great concentration, catches the ball with his hands. He's one of those guys that Coach Gruden likes to call a rainbow. When he comes out, he's beautiful, but the other times he stays hidden. I'd like to see more of that.
Get him out of the clouds, right? Audible. Second back through, Randy Jordan.
See, and that's what Gruden's talking about in Bobby Hoyne. 2 real fine passes thrown by Hoyne. Sees the defense, audibles right away, makes a good call, picks up 8 yards.
Eight minutes, 38 seconds, time remaining in the first half. 49ers leading the Oakland Raiders by 3, 10-7. Fulcher, the tight end, the motion man. Going deep and overthrown, just a step. James Jett had a step on one defender. I'm not sure he had a full step with the second defender. But it would have had to have been that perfect pass. He just overthrew him by about a yard.
Yeah, Anthony Parker had real good coverage on James Jett that time. Third-year man out of Weber State.
From a quarterback standpoint, when you see that, what are you aiming at?
Well, we were taught to throw the back flag when we ran a corner when I was playing for the Raiders. The early 80s, middle 80s. Right there, he was just trying to get it over the defender's head and into the arms of James Jett. Had to be a perfect throw, though.
Boeing chased and caught from behind.
He's going to be caught by Andre Carter, their #1 pick out of Cal. Tall, lanky, and fast. This kid runs a 4.40 from the defensive end position. You're not going to run away from him.
Third down, 13. Little sidearm effect, incomplete in the right flat. Randy Jordan, the intended receiver. And John Keith and Ahmed Plummer were there. And Rashad Holman was also in the neighborhood.
You're going to see Jordan right out here in the flat. Ball comes. He's got to make this catch right here. Levy actually does a very good job of getting the ball out, but that is a catch that Randy Jordan has to pull in.
Shane Leckler to kick it away. David Allen is the return man. You let this one go for the touchback. So it goes in the end zone. They're bringing it out to the 20-yard line. Jeff Garcia stays in the ballgame, the starting quarterback for the 49ers. Three-step drop, wobbly high, but caught by Terrell Owens. Now we mentioned the crossing of the bay. Let's take a look at the Niners who have become Raiders. Jim Plunkett, of course, resurrected your whole career when you made your crossing, didn't you, Jim? Jim is nodding
I
yes.
suppose.
Jim, I suppose. Well, I would say so. Didn't quite agree. Jonas Lewis to around the 28-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down, and Calvin Branch is the man who spun him down. Garrison Hurst is on the sideline.
It looked like he was limping as he came off, and we've been talking about it all day, how we've been easing him back into it. You can only hope that you know, it's not anything serious. But what happens when you have an ankle or a knee? You have residual injuries or things that can pop up. You start, you know, pulling groins or anything like that because of the compensation effect.
Too high, throws it away. Everybody was taken. That was third down. So the Raider defense holds. They make a very nice stand, and the 49ers will kick it away.
Yeah, actually, Tony Bryant kept good position on Jeff Garcia as he rolled out to right, didn't let him get outside him, forced him to throw the ball away. Good play by Tony Bryant.
Tony Bryant, I love Tony Bryant. I think he's really played well all preseason. And in fact, for what I've seen so far, he's probably the most consistent guy all preseason in terms of rushing the passer, playing the run, playing the scheme. This guy has really been a good find for the Raiders.
And here's the kick. Everybody stay away is the call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know something? I think they only had 10 players. All right, let's look at Jim Plunkett. When he played with the 49ers.
Speaking of 10 players.
3,000 yards during 1976-1977 season. Raider legend wore the red and gold after crossing the bay.
Oh! Ow!
Plunkett led the silver and black to 2 world championships and was named Super Bowl XV MVP.
I don't know if you saw that hit, Charlie, but my head still hurts.
So that's how you became a Raider.
That's right.
Oh, I know what happened.
They knocked me sensitive.
Oakland now 37-yard line, their own territory. Going rolling right. Going on the run, a little behind Marcus Knight, but catchable. Lets it slide through.
Marcus Knight had a big week last week against the Cardinals. 6 catches, 61 yards. Coyne was on the run, had to throw a little behind him. You know, those are very difficult things to really master.
But it's still a catchable ball.
Tough, but yeah.
Here comes the blitz. Pass is incomplete. Well, he had to get rid of it in a hurry to Zach Crockett. He got a flag down. No, there's one over there around the 43-yard line.
Yeah, I thought it was a flag. Looks like paper.
Oh.
Somebody's hot dog wrapper.
Yes, it looked a lot like it. Third down and 10 at the 37. Going good protection, good time, throws into double coverage, pass is caught by Jerry Porter, and Porter spins away from a would-be tackler, goes inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And that was a play that he had to make. He really needed that. And he's shaken up. We have an injury timeout called on the field.
Yeah.
Go back and look at it.
And Charlie, you know, a lot of good things happen here. Good pass protection. Bobby Hoyne keeping his eyes downfield, hits Porter. Porter breaks the tackle, puts his head down, gets a little banged up on the play. But, you know, everything, the way that was drawn up was the way it happened on the field. Everything was executed extremely well. But, you know, here's a guy out there trying to prove himself. He put his head down, charged forward, trying to pick up, you know, more yardage. And that's what you'd expect. And that's what you like to see from a young player trying to make a football team.
Zach Bronson, the 49er who hit him, he really nailed it. You saw in the slow motion coming over the top and back into the turf.
And we've said.
Going hands off to the second back through, and that's Terry Kirby. He pops through to the 32-yard line. Porter has 3 catches for 58 yards in the ballgame.
You know, Terry Kirby, another former 49er, put his head down, picked up some extra yards when he made a tackle and bounced off him. I tell you, these Raiders are loaded with running backs.
You're going to see Terry Kirby come in here, lower his shoulder, hard running here, and Earl Brick, number 53 for San Francisco, just had, he gets a bad end of it. I mean, these linebackers for San Francisco are having a rough day today. You see Winburn has been bounced around a little bit, with Wheatley taking it out on him, and you see Kirby just taking it out on Earl Brick a little bit.
Kirby gets the call again. This will be very close to the first down. And it's continuing at the bottom of the pile. Flags come flying out.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, San Francisco. Number 98. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Julian Peterson.
Well, it's kind of like in baseball when they brush your guy back and you see it, then there's going to be some retaliation. And I said it in the play before, when your linebacker gets run over like that, someone's going to take that personally. You see them trying to give each other the business underneath the pile after a play is over. There's no need for it. But in a game, even though it's preseason, we've been talking about, it's still a battle of teams, rivalries that are so close to one another. You're going to get this kind of extracurricular stuff on the field.
And it continues to have the feeling of a regular season game.
Yeah.
Jordan to the right side, inside the 10 of the 8-yard line. Randy Jordan, the ball carrier. Zach Brunson again with a tackle.
The Raider offensive line is really taking control of the line of scrimmage right now, opening big holes for the running backs.
And this is just football. This is not, no one's tricking anybody. That wasn't a trap. It wasn't a wham. That's just man on man. No fair dodging, and it's running downhill. And Jordan did a very good job of hitting the ball, coming straight downhill and getting a good run with a good kickout block by Crockett.
Second down and 4. Kirby gets the call. 6-yard line. Third down and a couple to go.
I think Kirby's going to be a very important part of this football team. They want to see him in different kind of matches. We've talked earlier in the year how they like to see him as the lone back in the backfield because of the matchup problems he creates. Well, this is another place where they like to see him. How does he line up behind the fullback, running the ball from the eye? Gives him a lot of flexibility when they go play action pass.
The run got him here. Now at this point, do you go to the pass? You go to the corner. Little fade route. And the quarterback carries it, has the first down, goes to the 2-yard line. Bobby Hoying picks up the first down. Holbrook saves the touchdown.
And Plunk, this is what you were talking about earlier. If he doesn't see it in the pass, then he tucks it away and he's able to make quick decisions.
Yeah, and I think he's doing a lot better now. He's doing exactly the things that Gruden is asking him for him. In this game, they were a little disappointed in the first 2 preseason games. Right now, he's making up his mind and making good choices as well. And Charlie, you asked about you got here with a run. Are you going to throw now? Well, preseason especially, I think it's 4-down territory. So you have a couple more options. You can go for it on 4th down and try to pick up the first down if you don't get it on 3rd. Much more so during the preseason than the regular season.
All right, we have a
30-second timeout.
Should be a 30-second timeout. 2:20 is the time remaining in the first half. And with the first down goal to go. The Raiders sitting right on the 2-yard line of the 49ers. And the cloud cover is starting to come in, cooling things off a little bit more. They opened a Keyser. And then came here, the second year. Good defensive play. Just shut down Terry Kirby. You'll enjoy our conversation. That's at halftime coming up in just a couple of minutes. Play action fake, rolling, throwing, corner of the end zone, bobbled, touchdown. Whoa. Monroe Fulcher has his second of the game, His third of preseason, and he beat Jamie Winborn. And that was close. He had a problem grabbing the handle, but he got it.
You know, this is a play they scored on against Dallas. Bobby Hoyne and Mondrell Fulcher as well. Little play action inside. He rolls to the right. Hits Fulcher in the corner.
Janikowski with the point after, and it is good. And the Raiders regain the lead, and they're on top now by a score of 14-10, but we have some flags down. Signal, preliminary signal from the Raiders. It's against the 49ers, and they'll apply it to the kickoff. So first we'll figure out exactly what the call is.
Going to Fulcher.
First to foul against the 49ers. The kick only goes to the goal line. And the return is out just across the 15-yard line, where Bobby Brooks drops David Allen.
Certainly you'd think he would have kicked that ball into the end zone.
Yeah.
As a result, you know, the results are better. The ball's only out to the 15-yard line, but with 15 extra yards, you'd think you'd be able to kick it through the end zone.
The other thing, I wonder if they were trying to kick it right to the goal line, so they had to force him into what might be a short return.
That could be true.
You know, sometimes they plan those things and they try them, and we're never really sure what they're doing.
And they don't tell us.
No, they don't call and tell us. We have a change of quarterback. Tim Rattay is the quarterback. And the first pass is dropped. Cedric Wilson, the intended receiver.
And, you know, Charlie, I was talking to Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator right now, former quarterback coach for the San Francisco 49ers, and he likened Tim Rattay to Marcus Tuiasosopo. That kind of ability, sees the field, makes plays happen when there's no play to be had. Just a real exciting player himself.
Three wide receivers on the set. Three-step drop. Over the middle, tip. Almost intercepted. Ever so close for the interception.
Gibson's in the right place at the right time. And
Derek Gibson, you're right.
It just tucked the ball away and started running before you had the, had the ball tucked away. Gibson, the #1 pick this year, I think he's really exceeded anyone's imagination in his ability. And they knew he was a big hitter. Here's taking a hit here, but they knew he was a big hitter. Getting the ball, getting his hand on the ball and almost making the play. Being a big hitter, you don't expect that he would play that well in space, but he's really impressed them. They think he can play corner and safety.
They're down on the ground, and they run for the first down. Terry Jackson picks it up. Gibson finally stops him. He's out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, just got.
1:32 time remaining, first half. Incomplete. Jimmy Ferris, the intended receiver. This kid, he's got a strong arm, doesn't he? I mean, he's throwing with a lot of authority.
He's thrown, 2 balls have been dropped. That was, he made that throw a little tougher than he had to, but 2 balls have been dropped because probably the velocity on the football.
Yeah, but coming out of college, this guy broke all kind of records coming out of college. And then they said he had an ankle, so he dropped. But he's really defied the odds here. He was the second quarterback drafted last year behind Cromartie, and Cromartie just hasn't had the development as Rattay has had. So now he's in a position competing for the #2 job.
Nice scramble, nice pass on target, first down, 50-yard line. Well done.
And Cromartie's had, unfortunately he's had some injury problems.
Wilson on the receiving end, Perryman with the tackle. He's got a timeout, stopping the clock with 1:16 left to go here in the first half.
But Rattay and Meyer, Rick Meyer, the other quarterback competing for the #2 job, have become very good friends. In fact, they golf a lot together. They say, well, I'm sure they golf a lot. They may help each other in their golf game, but I'm sure Rick Meyer's not telling them, hey, man, this is how you beat me out.
Yeah. You do this or you do this.
Yeah, some things are better left unsaid, sometimes.
And Rick Meyer played a lot in the first ball game.
Yes, he did.
Last week against San Diego, so they said that they wanted Rattay to get a lot of time here.
You know, as I said, Charlie, talking to Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, they really like Rattay and what he's brought to this football team.
Raiders in front, 14-10. Ooh, nice catch. Pass was a little low. Pulled in by Cedric Wilson, and the 49ers are on the move. Hurry up offense. Rattay to throw again. Right side, wobbly, low, scooped up. Did he catch it? They're going to say yes, he did. Dwight Carter pulled it in. That might be challenged.
That was a great play on Rattay's part. Pressure right away, able to throw the ball, anticipate. I mean, that was a great play on Rattay's part.
Comes back to this side, and he overthrows the intended receiver. That's Jamie Ferris. Calvin Branch had that covered.
And a fan looking at the game may say, well, where's the rush? Well, like Jim is saying, that ball's coming out of there. Rattay's doing a good job with the offense. They don't have the time to get a rush. He actually threw that previous ball before the receiver even turned around. He's doing a very good job with the offense, and the Raiders defensive line is not able to get any pressure on him.
Yeah, they went back to a 4-man rush. They had a 3-man rush at the start of this drive. Couldn't put any pressure on the quarterback, so decided to go back to a 4-man line.
3rd down and 1. 34 seconds. Time remaining first half. 49ers down by 4. Rattay sets, throws, pass is complete. Comes over the middle, 20-yard line. Goes to Jimmy Ferris. Gibson gets him. He moves this offense, and he does it in a hurry, and he gets rid of the ball in a hurry.
To waste a play by downing the ball.
Oh, did you see what happened?
He went behind the left guard.
Yes, he lined up, but they're going to claim movement. He's nervous. He's excited.
Hey, but every quarterback that ever played has done that at one time or another.
I wonder if we have that on tape. I wonder if we have that on tape.
Unabated to the quarterback. Oakland, number 95. 5-yard penalty. It's still.
Got to get a holding call. There you go.
Yeah.
And the pass is incomplete. There's another flag down. Perhaps a holding call and then pass interference. They may just offset each other. Jerry Jackson, the intended receiver. Bobby Brooks was there.
See,
There
Sean,
were fouls by both teams on the play. Holding by the offense, number 72. There was also pass interference by the defense, number 55. The penalty's offset. Replay, 2nd down.
Second down. Throws it away. Nice play.
Good job here, because you got to understand, it's been a long drive. They were in position to score a touchdown here. They held them to what looks like might be a field goal, and that's a good job on their defense.
33-yard attempt. It is no good. There's a flag.
and the Raiders only had 10 men on the field. That won't be the
Before
penalty.
the ball was snapped, false start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty.
And you have to take the penalty.
First down.
Yep. I'm surprised at 7. And this one is good from 37 yards away. Cortez in the ballgame is hit from 26 and now 37. And with that play, the first half comes to a close. The Oakland Raiders 14, San Francisco 49ers are 13. Here at halftime. Let's go down to George.
All right, Charlie, I'm here with Coach Gruden. Coach, you put up 14 points the first half. Your offense appears to be moving pretty good.
Yeah, there's some pretty good things happen. I mean, there's too many penalties on offense. The interception occurred in the red zone. Those are errors that we can't commit at this stage of camp. can't give up a 3rd and 10 here in a 2-minute drill. But there are some good things. We had a lot to clean up, though.
Okay, Coach, thanks for your time. Back to you, Charlie.
Never in
And that.
It's my favorite. Eric Metcalf is going to be returning the kickoff of Jose Cortez to start the second half. And the wind comes and the wind goes, and the wind swirls. And the wind goes in almost every direction. And while we're waiting on the wind to settle down and the second half to get underway, let's look at the first half stats. Well, they're pretty even, aren't they? Total yards, rushing and passing. Time of possession is probably the largest difference.
It is, and usually it's the other way around. Oakland usually dominates time of possession. They have the first 2 previous preseason games. They did almost all of last year, held the ball longer than the opponent. So, that's something that Gruden's going to take a long, hard look at as well.
All right, here we go with the second half. Metcalf will pull it in at the 3-yard line. Heads to the right, avoids the first tackler, and the second man gets it at about the 25-yard line. Terry Killens makes the stop on the special teams for San Francisco. One reason you want to mention that is the special teams are where a lot of these ball players were to make the club.
You bet. A lot of these young players, they don't have a spot for them on the offense or defensive side of the ball, but special teams is where they can make a name for himself and get a spot on the roster.
Bobby Hoying stays in as the quarterback. That's expected. And he comes out throwing in a great catch. Marcus Knight makes the play. He was battling with Pearson Prelo, and he won.
Yeah, and this is something that I used to like to do, underthrow the receiver on an up route. The receiver usually finds the ball before the defender does, and Marcus Knight is picking up where he left off a week ago, comes up with a real fine grab.
That ball was in the air. He had to pick it up in a hurry.
Yes, he did. It was, not exactly how you draw it up, but it still worked.
That's the main thing. Terry Kirby to the 30, to the 25, the 24-yard line. Ronnie Hurd gets it. 2 big plays for the Raiders. Bang, bang.
And what you'd like to see is how your team responds coming out from halftime. You're going to see right here, Hoying's going to get back. Just a straight handoff. I mean, this is just good blocking up front by the Raiders offensive line. Terry Kirby showing that he still has a speed to get away from defenders. But you're seeing now situations. You're seeing Hoying coming out. How does he respond after a halftime session? And how can he move the offense? And the coaches are always trying to work situations.
Kirby to the 20-yard line. And that's part of preseason too. Is as a team you come out for the second half after being on the field for 12 minutes.
Yeah, and something I was going to mention as well, and Sean, alluded to it, in the fact that they go in at halftime, they make adjustments. They see what the defense in this particular case has been doing. They make adjustments. They set up plays to attack that specific defense. And I think the teams that more often than not win the ball game is the team that makes the best adjustments at halftime.
Second down. Opening drive of the second half. Terry Kirby. About a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of the first down. John Keith with the stop for the 49ers.
And there's no doubt about it that the Raiders have made an effort today, both with their starting unit, now with some of the reserve guys, not so much on offense, but to run this football. They're taking a long, hard look at the combination of Terry Kirby and Crockett.
Zach Crockett, the up back, Kirby, the second back, and he is stacked up by the defense. And if you read the officials coming in from the sideline, you figure that he has it by about half the length of the football.
It was a right foot mark this time, so
yes.
I think he's got it.
If he gives it the mark. It is a first down.
Not really anything there, but Terry Kirby just takes it over the top and lunges forward enough for the first down.
John Engelberger and friends making the tackle for the 49ers. Kirby again, stutter step. Ulbrich with the stop. Crockett will come out of the offensive set. Alex Van Dyke comes in, another wide receiver. 2nd and 8. Going to an audible. 3-step drop, comes back left. Nobody's there. He was not throwing the ball away.
I don't think he was.
I think somebody didn't pick up the audible.
Yeah, somebody may not have run the right route, or he felt he was running out of time and he did throw the ball away. But, you know, there might have been a miscommunication down there.
Yeah, but if he threw it away, he got away with the penalty because he wasn't outside of the tackle. So there was nobody in the neighborhood. I mean, there was nobody in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but you have to be in harm's way. So he still escaped.
Well, that's right. He went in harm's way. That's Sam Harm. Yeah, that's a good one. Into the right corner, overthrown just a little bit. Incomplete. David Dunn, the intended receiver.
You know, and there I think Bobby Hoyne had to come up with a better pass than that. They didn't give his receiver a chance at all to make a play for the ball. Something to work on.
From the 20-yard line, an attempt of 30 yards. Sebastian Janikowski. And it is up, and it is good from 30 yards away. So the Raiders tack on 3 more. They lead 17-13 back of the kickoff. Park. So does the weather. Getting to get a little cooler.
It's a little chilly.
Yeah, a little chilly. Wind a little brisk at time, but not quite the wind that we had at 4 o'clock this afternoon. But it'll be a very nice cool evening.
It's summer. You can see that they have hooded, bomber jackets out there, alpine ski gloves. I mean,
this is a very wise crowd.
Crazy weather, though. Crazy weather.
And Jim, you were saying what? 6 miles from here would be 90 degrees.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a little below the fog line. It's warm, bright, sunny, no wind.
A little below the fog line. McCullough and Cedric Wilson are the return men.
See what kind of kick Janikowski can get off this time.
I'd have to think just because of how that ball is falling off the tee that the wind is playing some part in his kicks today, because like you pointed out earlier, Jim, his kicks have been kind of short.
And this one's going to come up short. And it's taken by Cedric Wilson. And he is decked at the 25-yard line. He is really nailed. Jabari Jackson got it. We have a timeout. Back in a moment. Time remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Oakland Raiders in front of the San Francisco 49ers by a score of 17-13. The Niners have the ball at their own 25-yard line, and Tim Rattay stays in at quarterback. And he may see all of the action here in the 2nd half.
I think Rick Meyer was scheduled to play, although he's a little banged up with an elbow.
Rattay hands off to the running back, Jonas Lewis. Tries the left side, has about 4 yards, maybe 5. The 49ers have a lost offense. You know about the lost goal mine? Well, this is that lost offense. In points, Jerry Rice, Charlie Garner, and Wade Ritchie adds up to 190 points that are gone. Ritchie's in San Diego. Rice and Garner, of course, are with the Raiders. And that's the yards that Rice and Garner, and Garner that's rushing and receiving. So they have lost a big chunk of their offensive yardage and points.
Oh, they certainly have.
Well, and in this stage of free agency, in this game of free agency now, you would think that it didn't have to happen that way. The 49ers have just done a unique, and I'm using that term loosely in terms of how they go about signing their guys. It's almost like if there's a race to get to the cap, They want to be Marion Jones, you know, and just get there as quickly as possible without any thought in terms of how it affects their guys down the line. I don't think they've done a very good job of that, because I can understand Jerry Rice, an older guy, you want to start working younger guys in. But Charlie Garner, there's no way, irrespective of how they felt about Garrison Hurst, that you let a guy like that go.
4 wide receivers on the set. Far side, overthrown, incomplete. White Carter, the intended receiver. That was 3rd down, and so the kicking team will come in.
Yeah, just not a good throw by Rattay. And, you know, get the other side of the coin, Sean. You know, the Raiders have been able to keep all their players and added players like a Jerry Rice or a Charlie Garner where they feel they've really needed it, but they've been able to keep Wisniewski, Tim Brown, Barrett Robbins, key players that they didn't want to lose, so they signed the long-term contracts.
Stephen Cheek, rookie, punting for the first time in the ball game, and Kenyon Rambo on the return. They'll stay away from it. Be down by the 49ers. 9:47 left to go. We're in the 3rd, and the Raiders lead at 17-13. Back in a moment. One of the true garden spots of the world. It's absolutely glorious area and a great city, and it's always fun to come up here. And it's always fun to wear the wrong clothes. I've done it for years. Makes no difference. Okay, we're at 3 Park on Candlestick Point. The Oakland Raiders, the San Francisco 49ers. Raiders at their own 38-yard line. Bobby Hoying, the quarterback. Little play action fake to Eric Metcalf is going to be sacked. John Engelberger gets the sack.
Engelberger, the top pick last year, coming in, just does a good job of getting some penetration upfield, and in stepping up, he just steps right into the rush. So Hoying has to be more aware, but it's hard to make that comment when a guy has to be looking downfield. It's up to the offensive lineman to keep that penetration from coming right up the gut. West Coast offense, the plays come up the gut, distract the passing game tremendously.
2nd and 17, drops it off into the left flat. Eric Metcalf will battle for a few yards on the play before he's taken out of bounds. Jamie Winborn, the rookie from Vanderbilt, taken in the 2nd round of the draft, makes the play for the 49ers.
And, you know, Sean, you mentioned, you know, pressure up the middle for a quarterback is just death, you know, because they have nowhere to step up to. And unless they have some real good speed to get outside, they're in deep trouble. It's the worst possible place for pressure to come for a quarterback.
3rd down, Hoying to throw again. Deep over the middle, has a man, nails it. 1st down, 50-yard line, Alex Van Dyke. Oh, he was wide open. Ronnie Hurd then came over and dropped him. That was 3rd and 19. 1st down at the 50.
And that's what they want to see out of Alex Van Dyke. More of this kind of receiving on his part. He's a guy who's been exceptional in training camp, but 2 preseason games, he's had trouble hanging on to the ball. Good play on his part.
Metcalf. This takes a quick shot to the near side. 44-yard line, pushed out by Ronnie Hurd. Raider acquisitions, and these could be the key additions. Jerry Rice, Alex Van Dyke, who we just saw, Reggie Barlow, Charlie Garner, obviously, Roland Williams, Frank Middleton, Trace Armstrong, Ryan Phillips.
And the Raiders have done it. You know, everyone's talking about Jerry Rice and the addition of Jerry Rice. I think Jerry will be a nice addition, but I've got to look at the great scouting job that the Raiders scouts have done in finding a guy like a Charlie Garner and a guy like Trace Armstrong. I really believe those 2 guys are going to make.
Ooh. Marcus Knight. Oh,
thought he had that, but then I believe Trace Armstrong and Charlie Garner are going to make some phenomenal impact on this team this year, because they don't just add leadership in terms of the numbers that they bring. 1,000-yard rusher, leading the lead in sacks as Trace Armstrong, Armstrong did last year, but more importantly, they bring a work ethic. Charlie Garner's a workhorse, a guy that, you know, young guys can emulate. Trace Armstrong the same way the young guys can emulate him. So it's much more than just X's and O's, the things that the other guys, the intangibles they bring to the table.
Marcus Knight with a great effort on that last play, and he'll have the penalty called on Toby Miles. Left tackle, he stepped back.
False start, Oakland, number 77. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Can't do that, Toby.
You know, and Sean, you know, Al Davis has, you know, really a knack for bringing in older players that a lot of other teams have given up on, and provided them a few more good years with the Raider organization. You know, I'm certainly an example. Cedric Hardman came in, helped the Raiders win a Super Bowl. You know, the list goes on and on.
It's a unique philosophy, but it obviously works. I think when the guys come here, they realize that, hey, this is another chance. And this team is just going to look for football players.
Pulling a sack. Cedric Killings.
Yeah, we always make the comment about the guy that makes the play and who makes the tackle. Well, Eagleberger actually makes the play here, getting around the corner, causing the quarterback to step up, and Killings is right there for the killing, as you'd put it.
Well said.
But a nice tandem there of getting after the quarterback. Now, what you have to be careful of if you're the Raiders offensive line, you cannot have a drop-off in terms of what the first group has started in the first half. You've got to continue to build on what you started in the first half, because at some point, if there's an injury, the depth has to be able to play, and there's no excuse. You can't talk about, well, I've got to get adjusted to this game if someone gets nicked. You've got to be able to play consistently, and that last series was not consistent football by the Silver and Black.
So now the 49ers will go to work on their own 17-yard line with the first down, and 7 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, and the wind is starting to come across the plains right now. It's getting colder.
The planes?
Yes, I don't know.
The airplanes.
The airplanes. Has a western feel. It's coming in off the oceans where it's coming in from. Jonas Lewis, the ball carrier. I'd rather be playing than sitting on the sidelines, because it's easier to stay warm.
Be a little warmer.
Yes.
Not much. I'm telling you.
And I don't even see any heaters down there, for heaven's sakes.
Derek Gibson made the last tackle. Second down at the 20-yard line. Sweep to the left side. Jonas Lewis has the corner, has the opening, and then it's pulled down. Almost breaks it. Derek Gibson saves it. Boy, Gibson really gets involved.
Yeah, you're going to see Gibson here, good recognition, and does a good job playing off the offensive lineman to get in on the play here and making the tackle, because that could have been a really ugly. And you see Cooper hustling down the field, but this is a guy right here who knew he had great hitting ability, wanted to see how his field awareness would be and how he would play in space. I tell you what, he's answered all those questions, continues to hit, good field awareness, and great ability in space, much better than anyone thought that he would have.
Meanwhile, Darren Mickle is going to be called for encroachment, or would it be a false start?
Before the snap, encroachment, defense
It is
number
encroachment,
70.
and it will be
5-yard
called
penalty.
against Darren Mickle. Now, you talked about playing in space. Maybe some of our listeners don't understand what you mean when you say you're playing in space.
Well, you know, you like to find a guy that if there's an open space, if him against a receiver, that he has the feet and the hips to be able to adjust and to be able to play in that space. There are a lot of guys that can play if the game is being played in a phone booth, but when they get in space, you know, there's paralysis by analysis. They just can't get it done. You like your defensive backfield to be able to play in that kind of space and be able to make the right decision when the play comes to them.
47-yard line, pump fake, goes deep and complete. Let's go down to George Atkinson, who's on the sideline. George.
All right, guys, I have with me captain of defense, Greg Beaker. And Greg, looked like you guys were on your money today. I mean, you played pretty good defense.
Well, I think we're coming together as a defense so far. The first team played very well. We gave up one play on the 2nd and 1, a deep ball that looked like Eric Allen made a play on anyway, but it was just a great throw and great catch.
Now, let me ask you, there's a lot of young linebackers that are vying for positions. Who are some of the guys that you're impressed with?
I really like Eric Barton right now. Traven Smith's coming on. We got some guys on the third unit that can play ball, and so it's going to be tough, I think, for the coaches this year when that cut down comes at linebacker. They're going to have to make some tough choices.
Man, thanks for your time. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, George. Jonas Lewis, the last ball carrier. Bobby Brooks with the tackle. May have been enough for the first down. Let's see where they mark it.
And what you hear from the coaching staff, and you saw Brooks, like you said, Charlie, on that last play, is that you have your starters, and everyone knows going in, who your starters are going to be, the linebacker. But like Beak just said, once you take away the starters, they're so close that you don't know who's going to make this football team. And that's why these preseason games, especially having 5, somebody's going to have to separate from the other guy in order to make this team.
Play action, rolls right, tries to make do. Tim Rattay, the quarterback. Jason Isom, the intended receiver. And he got in trouble, just came down with a little sidearm to come underneath the defender.
You saw Ryan Phillips on that last play. I like to call him Baby Beak because he reminds me so much of Beak, a real small, smart, heady play. Was a starter with the Giants last year, sifting the play, diagnosing where it's supposed to be, and finding his man, almost running the route for him, making a great play on the ball. And with the misdirection, a lot of these young guys don't see it. Phillips is a guy that has some experience in the league and has done a good job in camp and vying for one of those backup spots, but he's done a really, like I said before, I call him Baby Beaker because he's so steady and such a heady football player.
Jonas Lewis, the last ball carrier, and we had a flag thrown in from downfield after the play was over. It's going to be a personal foul. Is it a clipping personal foul?
It's like a chop block.
Personal foul. Crackback by the offense, number 7. 15-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Yeah, I know that very well.
Explain that. Explain what that is.
Well, the wide receiver, normally it involves one of these guys, pencil necks, guys that have a number in the single digits or less than 20. Okay, and they put him in motion, and the defensive back is so into the game he doesn't yell crack, which is what every defensive end wants to hear because he knows someone's coming from the outside that can take his knee out. He's supposed to keep that block above the waist. Sometimes these pencil necks don't know to do that, and they get a little low, and you have to call a penalty on them. But what I used to always do is crack the cracker. Every now and then you just have to just turn around and just whack it. And they get a little tentative after that. I saw Matt Millen do that one time. And my goodness, it was ugly.
Ball. Raiders have it.
You're going to see a heck of a play by Chris Cooper on that play.
And DeLawrence Grant followed it with the recovery, right?
Exactly. And Cooper is a guy that they're really high on one of those many contested positions. You're going to see Cooper here doing a good move, dislodging, getting off his man and getting in on the play and getting the ball out, more importantly. Grant doing a good job of falling on it, being in the right place at the right time. But Chris Cooper, number 75, who do you think about when you think of number 75? Who does that look like? Howie Long.
Howie Long.
No coincidence, huh?
And that was a Howie Long type play, too.
Howie Long type play. Excellent play by Chris Cooper.
Marcus Tuiasosopo is now the quarterback for the Raiders. 4:21 time remaining here in the third quarter, and he comes in to take over the offense. And of course, you go first things first. You congratulate Chris Cooper because he created the turnover, and DeLawrence Grant was there to make the recovery.
Yeah, Cooper is one of those guys that they said, came into training camp. They didn't know what to expect. A 7th-round pick, but has done everything right and has picked up the defense very well. And they expect, another hard decision they have to make on the defensive line with a player like that.
Derek Combs again gets the call. Taken in the 7th round of the draft out of Ohio State. Ulbrich with the stop for the 49ers.
And right now they have a lot of young players who don't get to see a lot of action during the regular season. Here they've got an opportunity to, number one, show what they can do, get used to the offense, and try and make this football team.
They're down at 6. Blitz coming. Tuiasosopo is sacked. John Milam got part of it, and John Engelberger got the other part.
You know, I guarantee you, it's not easy to sack Tuiasosopo either. With good pressure from the blind side, up the middle as well. There was no place for Tuiasosopo to run to.
Janikowski, 44-yard field goal attempt. He is hit from 30 in the ball game. And it is no good. It is no good. It is wide right. We'll be back in a moment. Behind there is the holder for Janikowski. And it was a little late. I don't know, everything just was a little behind schedule.
You're gonna see the bumble right there, and then he's trying to get the ball down, and Janikowski goes through with his motion. Now, you know, you've seen the movie where laces out, laces out. Well, he had a problem getting the ball down and getting the laces the way he wanted them. But you got to remember, last year, Janikowski had a problem with rushing the ball. So timing is everything when he's kicking his field goals, and that time they didn't have the time.
Tim Rattay stays in as the quarterback for the 49ers. Absolutely nothing there for Jonas Lewis. Chris Cooper again making the play.
You know, good penetration by Cooper, by McKell, getting in the backfield, disrupting the play, number 70.
Yeah, Darren Mickle does a good job getting upfield and giving them nowhere to run. And once again, we see Gibson. They're doing a very good job of forcing it and turning everything back inside.
Second down and 10. Jonas Lewis, left side. Not quite to the 40-yard line where Ryan Phillips stops him.
What you want to see from your young guys right now is, yeah, one, no mental errors. We want to make sure you're not making any mistakes, because mental errors will kill us if everybody's not in sync. Two, are you working technique? Have you remembered anything we taught you in training camp? Are you getting off of blocks and you get into the ball? And third, most importantly, are you hustling? We want guys that are going to run. The Raiders have done so much in terms of improving team speed. We want to see this, you know, in this part of the game.
They're down 4 wide receivers. Pass is complete. It's going to be close. Antonio Chapman, the rookie, on the receiving end, and it's right around the marker.
You know, and defensively for both these ball clubs, because both teams run such varied and multiple offenses, that recognition is so important for these defensive players. You have to spend a lot of time in the film room and learning exactly where to line up in each and every formation.
And Plunk, you're so right. I mean, at this stage of the ball game, everyone is talented. When you look through a media guide with any of these teams, it's all who's this, is blue chip this in high school, is having such great records in college. So how do you separate yourself? These young guys have to learn to get in that film room and get, you know, find the nuances of the game, find out what little bit they have to work on. Football's not that complicated. By the end of the first half, you know what a team's going to run at you. But if you don't study, you don't have a chance to be, you know, incredibly successful in this league.
Okay, Sean, for you, when you studied, did you study plays and formations, or did you study the offensive tackle you were up against?
No, I did a little bit of both, but concentrated more on the offensive side of the ball, knowing what they would give me from different formations. By the time the game rolled around, I didn't know what plays they were going to run, but from each formation, I knew what plays they wouldn't run, and that helped me out a lot.
Fourth down, a foot to go for the first down. First back, not there, pushed away. Second effort, makes it. Jason Isom, and he was stopped. Then he made that continuing effort and rolled off with the Raiders, and will have the first down.
Now that's something the coaches want to see. Second effort, third effort, come up with a big play when you're stopped behind the line of scrimmage as he was. Looked like no chance that he'd ever get that first down. That's the kind of effort coaches are looking for.
And those lays just kept churning away.
And as a running back, that's exactly what you have to do.
That's a nice effort on the defensive line. Need a little bit more help from your friends, but that's a nice effort.
First down, 45-yard line. Final seconds of the third quarter. Play action fake. Comes out to him. Pass is complete. Antonio Chapman has his second reception. Brandon Jennings wrestles him down. And with that play, the third quarter has come to a close. So we're going to step aside with the period. We'll be back in just a moment with the fourth and final period. Raiders lead it 17-13. Quarter here at 3Com Park. The Oakland Raiders 17, the San Francisco 49ers 13. Tim Rattay in his second year from Louisiana Tech, quarterback for the 49ers. Jeff Garcia started the ball game, played well into the second quarter, as did most of the starters on both sides. First down. Jonas Lewis. He's getting a bit of a workout. Stopped by Chris Cooper.
And I don't know what the rule is in college, but Lawrence Grant has to realize that when you jump, you can come back.
That's right.
Okay, you can come back.
He hesitated.
It's the second time he's done it today, and that'll be something that he'll feel real silly about when they point it out in the film tomorrow.
You mentioned Jonas.
Offside. Defense, number 95, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
But you
Three
mentioned
times. He says 3 times. We thought we had him known for 2.
well, you really couldn't see the jump there in that replay. But you know, Jonas Lewis and Paul Smith are going to get a lot of playing time because still don't know how Garrison Hurst is going to come off his injury, and he did come out of the game in the first half because he was a little banged up.
First down and 5. Lewis again. This time Eric Johnson, playing in a new position at cornerback, makes the tackle.
Now the Raiders defense have to tighten up here. You have Ekiyor, you have Cooper, John Harris, and Mikla as your front line. They've got to give better support to the defense, defensive backfield and linebackers, because you can't get pushed around like this. And you have split formation right here.
Has a man open and hits him. Jason Isom played it all to the right side. Isom slips out to the left side. Eric Johnson finally got him, but he was wide open.
And that's what I was afraid of when we were going through the lineup here. You have split back formation in the West Coast offense. That's 99% pass. The young guys have to know this. The older guys that are on the field, they know there's a pass is coming, because once again it tells you what they're not going to do.
And plus, one of the things they don't see very often in training camp is out of the backfield going deep. I think it caught the Raiders completely by surprise that time.
First down, goal to go, 8-yard line. Still fighting and battling. Jonas Lewis into the end zone for the touchdown.
Going to see split backs here.
And this is one of the plays the 49ers run quite a bit. They like to trap up the middle. They run a spread offense so often that whites out those linemen that they go to this as one of the bread and butter running plays.
Yeah, absolutely. They've run this play from forever. And Roger Craig made that play very famous, running it out from the fullback position. But you've got to be aware of those plays. You have to be aware in terms of what you'll get from different formations.
And in what situation as well.
Absolutely.
The extra point is good, and the 49ers have regained the lead. They're out in front now by 3. Eric Metcalf is the deep back as the 49ers have regained the lead, now 20-17. Just over 13 minutes to go. Cortez to kick it away.
And Eric seems like he's just one man away. You know, every time he's touched the ball, it seems like he's just one guy away from breaking along. This guy's excitement on cleats.
Seven-yard line. To the 20. Oh, it looked for a moment that it might be there. Just like he was a step, maybe a step and a half away from breaking it. We've got a timeout. Back in a moment. Here, of course, is Al Davis, and amongst many other things, he is the top of his own coaching tree with Bill Walsh and Mike Holmgren and John Gruden and Steve of the 49ers. 10 Super Bowl titles combined. He's had a lot of coaches along the way that he's worked with. There's Bill Walsh, of course, now with the 49ers as a consultant, former broadcaster.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
But you know, those coaches under Mr. Davis have used a lot of his ideas to implement their offenses and defenses.
Derek Combs, the ball carrier. Nothing is there. I can remember back in, what was it, 63 when Al first came to Oakland?
Yeah.
Took over as the head coach.
Right.
After being an assistant under Sid Gilman with San Diego.
Well,
playing at Frank Ewell Field.
Well, we always talk about the great Raider players, but Al Davis has done a very good job in terms of picking coaches. And we mentioned Bill Walsh, and obviously we know about the Maddens and the Flores and the Art Shells and the John Grudens, and even Mike Shanahan was a coach that Al Davis personally selected. So he does a very good job, not just on the personnel side, but also in picking people in management that can run his football team.
Frank Ewell Field. You all don't remember that.
I do. I do. I'm a local guy.
Plunk, you're showing your age.
And I
don't remember.
somewhere I was told, and I've never been able to find this out, that it was named for a funeral director.
It's a little bit of history I know nothing about.
I'm not sure, and I'm not sure about it either.
Way too much information.
That is too much.
Because they're not going to ask where the bodies are buried.
Yeah. Tuiasosopo is sacked for the second time in the ballgame. Jerome Davis gets him.
You know, as much as we praised Tuiasosopo,
Holding by San Francisco, number 35. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
And that is a defensive lineman's worst nightmare.
That's killer. No question about it. You do your job, you sack the quarterback.
You're begging that it's not that call. You just got a sack and they take it away.
First down at the 40-yard line. Raiders trailing by 3. 12 minutes, time remaining. Combs is just shut down right at, maybe give him one to the 41. Let's go down to George.
All right, Charlie, I have with me acquisition from the the St. Louis Rams.
Who cares?
Right. St. Louis Rams, Roland Williams. And Roland, you played on a championship team. Compare the attitude of the Rams team and this team that you're on now with the Raiders.
Well, back then we were the worst team in the league, and everybody thought we stunk, and we really were focused trying to prove something to the whole world. Here we got a team that was one game away last year from a world championship, and you realize how much that hurts and how much it really irritates you, and you want to get back. And so this team is hungry for redemption. They're excited. They made some key acquisitions, brought some guys in, Hall of Fame guys like Jerry Rice, brought big guys like myself and Charlie Garner, other guys, and they just want to win.
Now, one thing that's obvious about you is your enthusiasm. I mean, that goes without saying. What else do you bring to the table to this team?
Well, I try to be a good blocker. Been blocking for a few years for a guy named Marshall Falk at the point of attack, going out, catch some balls. On this offense, everybody has a chance to get the ball, so it's great for me. Get a chance to catch some balls, hit guys in the mouth, and go try to win a world champion.
Thanks for your time. All right, Charlie.
I like that guy, man.
Thank you, George.
He's got a big smile all through training camp, all through practice.
Marcus Knight. That is an excellent play and an excellent catch because the throw was before the break. He makes the break. He has to turn and pick up the ball. And I don't know how difficult it is, but I think it's much more difficult than people realize to turn, pick up the ball, and make a catch that quickly.
Well, it comes from practice, obviously, but it was well-executed play, as you mentioned. He dropped back, knew where he was going with the ball, anticipated the break. Ball got there before the defender could react, and consequently turned into a first down. Good play all the way around by everybody.
Down the sideline, double coverage knocked away. Marcus Knight, the intended receiver. Brandon Godsey, rookie, knocked it away.
And as he made a good throw the play before, you have to know where cover 2 is coming from, and you're going to see the safety coming over and make a hit on the receiver. Try to force that ball in there. Probably not the best decision in that case with the corner and the safety playing so good in terms of coverage, because you're always going to have that guy over the top. And unless you have a needle to thread that through, it's hard to get that ball in there.
Second down and 10. Derek Combs. Flag is down. Quincy Stewart. Here's the call.
Holding. Oakland, number 60. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
It's on John Bach.
You see a holder right there on the right guard.
Yeah, definite holder on the he's only number 72. It's a good grasp of it.
Second down and 20. Four wide receivers. Marcus Knight was on the wrong side of the formation. And the tackle steps too soon. That's Toby Miles, number 77.
And that was a bad play from the get-go. Marcus Knight lines up on the wrong side. Coach Gruden is yelling at him to get on the other side. Consequently, it just threw everybody's timing off.
Now second and 25. .947 and counting. Time remaining in the ballgame. Silva scrambles out to the 40. He's only gained a couple of yards, and that's going to be it. Jerome Davis with the tackle for the 49ers.
Yeah, this is a bad situation for, I tell you what, it's bad for the coaching staff, it's bad for the offensive line, it's bad for the quarterback, it's bad all the way around. One, there's no play that you can call that's second or third and forever. There's just no play you can call. And then it puts added pressure on the line to hold their blocks because you're running deeper routes. Quarterback to look for things quicker. If he doesn't, he's going to get sacked, and you end up giving up on the play.
Scrambles out. Thrown and intercepted.
And what we just saw there is bad getting worse.
Right.
Because now you're pushing and trying to make a play that's not there, and you make a situation worse. So that was not a very good decision by Marcus.
Yeah, you're forcing the ball into an area. You got to throw a long pass on the run where the defenders are deeper than everybody else. They get to see where the ball's going, make a play on it.
Stephen Fisher.
It's better just to throw the ball away, punt, play defense, get the ball back.
49ers now great field position. They'll start at the Raiders' 37-yard line. 8:56 time remaining.
Now, it looks like they're going to challenge this. I want to see if he was bobbling the ball before he stepped out of bounds, if he had possession of that interception. But if it stands, it's going to be interesting to see how your defense responds. You're talking about different situations.
Defender caught the ball before going out of bounds.
You're talking about seeing your team in different situations. Well, the best situation for any team is a sudden change situation. That means, someone just scored or something ugly just happened, interception or something. How do you respond in sudden change? Well, the defense, they've got to knock them out. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You've got to knock them out and get the ball 3 and out, get the ball back to your offense. You cannot afford a long drive right now because you're down and you have to get the ball back to your offense.
All right, let's see if we can pick up exactly what happened.
I think they may have a call. They may have. It looks like that out the inside foot. The foot closest to the field was on the line when he was still trying to get possession of the ball.
Looks like the ball was still bouncing off his shoulder pad right here.
All right, still bouncing.
He does
still
not have
bouncing. Possession.
Yeah, he had.
But you're right. You know, defense has to come in cold. They're a little disheartened because the ball's turned.
He caught the ball, juggled it, but he gained possession of the ball before going out of bounds. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands as called. San Francisco ball, first down. Oakland is charged with their first timeout.
See, now that's the more of the personality of the referee. He juggled the ball, had possession before he stepped out of it. That's what the NFL wants this year. That's one of the things that they've emphasized to be more, they call it fan-friendly, but to explain it in just a little bit more detail. But we know about it, our viewers know about it, but the people in the stands don't.
But I tell you what, Charles, if they want that, then they better have these refs call the game. Or this caliber ref call the game. Because what you don't understand about that call,
makes his first appearance. Third quarterback of the afternoon and evening for San Francisco. He hands off to McCullough. Ekibar makes the tackle.
Yeah, and no one knows what kind of player Rick Meyer could have been or would have been had he been in this West Coast offense from the beginning. When he came out of college, everyone said he was tailor-made. Ended up going up to Seattle, having a couple good years there, then bounced around ever since. And I think his talents are suited for the West Coast offense.
Second down. Nothing there. McCullough again gets the call. Barton with the tackle.
You see Barton here, who we talked about earlier in the telecast about his competition with Willie Thomas for that weak side linebacker position, doing a very good job of, very athletic, doing a very good job of getting off blocks and getting in there and tackle with Ryan Phillips. He loves his athleticism.
Third down. Has pressure. Fights it off, scrambles, heads for the first down, does not go sliding. And he may have picked it up. It'll be close. Johnny Harris with the tackle. And he says either a few inches shy or I made it by a few inches.
Probably shy.
Probably shy.
But this is one thing that just deflates a defensive line rush like that. Good pressure on the quarterback. Almost get him. He's able to get away, run down the field. And not only that, you get tired chasing him down.
All right, and what you can tell there just by the space that he had to work with is that they had to be in some kind of man coverage. The problem when you get that kind of pressure, and it was very good pressure, but if you're playing man behind, all of your defenders have their back to the quarterback.
Right.
Once you've broken that front line, then you have some running room, and then you just have to react as quickly as possible.
When Rick Meyer went up to Seattle, Coach Flores was the coach up there, and he's the one who drafted him up to go up there. Actually, he was the president and general manager at the time. And he played at Notre Dame, and they had to literally put 3 reels of his 3 college years at Notre Dame together to get enough looks at him throwing the football. Because he just did not throw the football very much at Notre Dame.
And he had another ex-Raider coach up there, Larry Kennan, who was coaching him up there, had his best years up there.
Fourth down. Quarterback sneak. That should do it. As Rick Meyer picks up the first down at the 26-yard line. And the clock continues on its inexorable march to 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
It's hard to believe he's been out of Notre Dame 9 years now.
It does. How many years have you been out of Stanford?
30.
Time does fly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
For some.
Good defensive play. Simply nothing there for McCullough. They shut everything down. John Harris will get credit with the tackle. And let's take a look at the regular season schedule. It starts off at Kansas City. And then the Jets at Miami. Seattle, Dubai. November and December. Denver, Seattle, San Diego, Giants, Arizona, Kansas City, San Diego, Tennessee, at Denver.
You know, there's nothing easy about that schedule.
Well, there's not.
No, if you love football, you've got to love the AFC West this year. I mean, it's probably the most competitive division in the AFC this year.
Incomplete. James Jordan, the intended receiver.
Yeah, you got to believe Flutie helps San Diego.
Yep.
You have to believe that the additions that they have in Seattle that helps them. The Raiders, obviously, a game away last year. That, you know, it's definitely
Kansas City is very happy. Their ball club is a very happy ball club.
Right, and some of the best additions, and you talk about Kansas City, are the coaches. You look at Vermeil.
That's what we're talking about, exactly.
And so it makes for a very competitive, hard-nosed division. You see here, you look at the Super Bowl champions in the last 5 years. Well, 4 of them are in the AFC West. You take Billick out of there, and you put an asterisk beside there because we know that the Raiders, if they win the game, they win another Super Bowl. So they could have all been in this division.
McCullough stopped by Eric Barton.
Hindsight being 20/20 and silver and black at the same time.
Yes. Here's Eric Barton isolated.
You're going to see Barton right here playing off the defender, making a good run and getting in front of the ball carrier. Always want to get your head in front of the ball carrier because your help is always going to be coming inside out. Good play by Barton. Not doing anything to change the coach's views on his ability to unseat Willie T there.
Cortez, high snap, 43-yard attempt. He's got the distance. No, it hits the upright. Oh, ever so close, for 43 yards away. So the score remains 20-17 49ers. Time remaining in the ball game. I'm Charlie Jones, along with Jim Plunkett, Sean Jones, George Atkinson, and JT the Brick, bringing you the ball game this afternoon from very cool 3Com Park at Candlestick Point.
You know, I think in situations like this where the game is running down, 5:06 to go in the ball game, game still within reach, this is, I think, where Tuiasosopo is most dangerous. You know, he can do so many things, come up with so many big plays.
I agree with you, Plunkett. It's almost a young guy. He thrives in these situations. So let's see what he can produce.
Raiders trail by 3, 20-17. Play action fake, comes back throwing to the right side. Pass is complete to Andrew Glover as we go down to George. Let's go down to George again.
Charlie, I have with me Charlie Gardner, running back for the Raiders. Now, you played here 2 years. How did it feel coming back, playing against the 49ers?
Oh, it felt real good just to get out there. It was a little anxiety at first, but, you know, just to come out here, see some of the fellas again, and just bump heads with them.
Now, how does it feel being a Raider dressed in the silver and black here?
I think I look good in the black. You know, it was a different thing coming over to the other side of the bridge, but I'm having fun over there.
Talk to us about your relationship with Coach John Gruden. You played for him in Philadelphia. Give us some insight about what kind of guy he was then and what kind of guy he is now.
Yeah, he's still a feisty guy. Just a moment ago, we were on the sideline. I was talking to Jerry, and he just started cussing me out for no apparent reason because we're having penalties on offense like I can control that. So, I mean, you know, that's his demeanor, and that's where, you know, he approaches the game. But I respect that, and, you know, we're going to be all right.
All right, man. Back to you guys, Charlie.
Don't stand near him on the sideline.
That's right. The rule. What did we say last week? The nearest guy at you start
right.
Yelling at?
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Oh, God.
Well, we almost brought the chains out, but they decided against it. Third down. Less than a yard. Knight's the motion man. Combs, the ball carrier's not there. Derek Combs is stopped on third down, and now it will be fourth down and a yard. You have 3:40 and counting time remaining. You trail by 3, 20-17. Do you go for it?
Yeah, you really don't have to in this situation, but they did lose one timeout with instant replay. challenge. So, but you know, they're obviously going to go for it right now.
Kenyon Rambo checks into that offensive set, and he goes wide to the left at the top of your screen. In trouble and sacked. Dan Greer got him.
And what you saw in that situation is you have two West Coast offenses that run very similar formations and run very similar play in short yardage. And that's exactly what happened. They read their lunch.
We have a timeout. Back in a moment.
You see the motion come across, and what's supposed to happen, you're supposed to create all kind of confusion, and the guys didn't do it. Why? Because they see this every day in practice. You have two similar offenses that know what the other guys do, and it didn't fool anyone. So Silva drifts to his left, and that didn't help the situation at all. If he had dropped straight back, and if it wasn't there, you throw the ball away instead of taking the sack.
Rick Meyer, blitz is picked up. Nice run by McCullough. Saladin McCullough. Darren Mickle with the stop.
They've got to come up with some plays defensively, get that ball back, give the offense one more opportunity to score.
You know, time becomes of the essence now because they lost that timeout on the replay challenge. So you've got, like Plunk said, you've got to find a way to knock them out of the box here. You've got to find a way to get a big play and get the ball out. But no one's kidding anyone. You know they're going to try to run the football down your throat.
Second down and 6. Staying on the ground. McCullough again. Official stopped the clock. Chris Cooper with the tackle for the Oakland Raiders.
Number 76, an ineligible number, was on the end of the line. The penalty is declined, brings up third down.
Two minutes and 15 seconds time remain. That's really a lot of time.
Yeah,
because
plenty
you've
of
got
time.
the 2-minute mark.
Plus 2 timeouts.
Plus 2 timeouts.
But you have to stop them. And, you know, they'll probably go with a safe pass route here or a draw with a single back.
Yeah, good football.
McCullough dropped by Emil Ekiar, number 98 for the Raiders, makes the play.
And that's what we've been talking about, coming up with big plays when you need to get it. You're going to see Emil right here, Ekiar, getting up the field, slipping that block and getting up. Now, when you go around that block like that, you better make that play.
That's
because
right.
if you don't, you're going to be sitting beside coach for a very long time. But that's the kind of big play and sudden play situations you have to come up with in order to get the ball back to your offense.
We've got a timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment. Friday night, August the 31st, as the Oakland Raiders will be hosting the Green Bay Packers at 6 o'clock in Oakland. That will be the final of the preseason for the Raiders. They get set then to start the regular season. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. That's the time remaining here this afternoon. Raiders down by 3. Pressure gets the kick away. And it's going to be down around the 3-yard line. Jimmy Ferris downs it. Well done. Stephen Cheek with the perfect punt. 2-minute warning to both benches. Back in a moment. San Francisco. It's about not quite 10 minutes after the hour of 7. And we have 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. Oakland with the ball at their own 3-yard line. Trailing by 3.
Let's see if we see some of the heroics from Tuiasosopo that he did at the University of Washington.
Tuiasosopo from the end zone throws. Pass is complete. Hit Fumble. 49ers have the ball. Jabari Jackson hit by Quincy Stewart, and the ball came out.
Well, I guess we're not going to. It's a shame.
Helmet right on the ball. And it comes clean, and the 49ers have it at the 8-yard line.
Well, it seems like once again 2 times they've played in the last 2 years, and it comes down, to some last-minute heroics on one side of the ball or the other. And it's a great rivalry, and I'm glad to see that they're playing each other again. It was a time when, Carmen Policy, who at the time was running the team, didn't want this rivalry, didn't want them to play every year, but things have changed, and it's back, and they'll play again next year in the regular season. So it's good to see the rivalry happening again.
Yeah, it's not not only a good rivalry between 2 teams that are very close, with a lot of fans on both sides of the bay, but economically, it's it's a good idea not to travel all over the country during the preseason.
Well, I think that's what the league is trying to do too with this new scheduling that they have. They want to create these rivalries. They want to create more of an excitement, especially when you have the geographics involved, as San Francisco and the Raiders, Jets, Giants, those kind of things. So it's good for football. It really is.
49ers, of course, kneeling down, just running out the clock. Now with a minute remaining.
Last year was a great game between these 2 teams, overtime, with the Raiders coming out on top.
Reaction to today's game?
I thought they played very hard, on both sides of the football. It's a matter of pride in the Bay. The Raiders, speaking offensively, they move the ball extremely well at times. For most of the game, too many penalties, too many mistakes, turnovers.
And defensively, I thought they did a good job, the first unit, in establishing themselves against a better offensive unit compared to the previous weeks. But like Plunk said, you can't have the penalties that they had today, and so that's something they're going to have to work on in the next couple of weeks.
We'll go back also. Take a look in your mind at the first half. That was the ball game.
Yeah.
And that was a really good ball game. That was a lot of fun to watch, and some big plays and some good hits.
Absolutely right.
Final score, once again, the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Oakland Raiders 20-17. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment.